Welcome back, everyone. My name is Pixel Echo, and over the last 6 months, I've been teaching you how to play Pixel Gun 3D as a new free-to-play player, how to get the best weapons, how to get currencies, and how to make the right choices. Now, you've been following along. It turns out the developers have been doing the same thing. Very recently, it's become apparent to me the developers are watching this series and along the way making changes which they haven't told us about, which makes it even more harder for not only the free-to-play players, but the new players of Pixel Gun 3D to play this game. Inevitably, this will be one of the downfalls of this game, because new players will not stand a chance. I wanted to tell you in today's video, I did not buy this Pixel Pass. And if you're still debating it because you haven't done so already, don't buy it. Let me explain why. Let me explain how we know this. Earlier on this year, when I started this account, one of the weapons you could purchase as a new player was the glitched machine gun. This was a legendary weapon, could be purchased relatively cheap. They went ahead and removed this from the economy of brand new players. Now, I started again on PC, and one of the weapons you're not able to get anymore is the reflector. This used to be available inside of here as well, was a legendary weapon, and was a perfect weapon to start with. From my understanding, you cannot get this anymore as a new player in Pixel Gun 3D. Whether you started on mobile or whether you started on PC, I believe it has gone. One of the other changes is the reward of choice. It gets to a point in the week where you're not actually able to try and unlock the reward of choice. Now, the reward of choice was where you watched 30 adverts. You could be given modules, you could be given gems, you could be given other kinds of free content. They nerfed that completely into the ground. Now, I know they're watching along. They're watching along, they're patching and fixing these so-called overpowered methods as a new player in Pixel Gun 3D. One of the biggest changes they've also done recently was inside of the lucky boards. You now need more spins to complete the 1,000 tokens. That was not a thing before. So if you miss, I think, like 1 or 2 days, you cannot complete the lucky board. Alongside that, they also, and this is the biggest and the change I hate most, and it really grinds my gears, and we only discovered this in the previous episode, it's to do with the Pixel Pass. When you get to around about level 60, previously I think you needed like 550 to 600 crowns to complete each level. What the developers have now done, and this is slimy and schemy the way they've done this, is you now need to get, I think it's 700 crowns per level. Now, the developers aren't stupid here. Usually, if you were to go ahead and purchase this season, it would cost you 600 Pixel Pass tickets. Every player was then able to complete each one of these levels kind of comfortably. I was doing it with like a couple of days spare up to a week. Now, players are getting to around about 60, 64, or 65. That means they're missing out on gems, they're missing out on the winner chest, they're missing out on tickets, and more importantly, they're missing out on the weapon. Now, I told you, the Pixel Pass tickets are the hardest and the rarest currency in Pixel Gun 3D. There isn't too many methods to get it. Now, I've only got 1,000, and what the developers are now doing is forcefully making people spend those tickets in order to complete the level. So as you guys know, in order to go up a level, it's like 100. It might be more. I can't fully remember how expensive it is. Let's have a little look here. So if I was to go to the next level, it's 60. If I was to go to, let's say, 2 or 3 levels, 180. It gets very, very expensive, as you guys are aware. So now they are making free-to-play players spend their currencies, and completing seasons is very, very difficult. It's really frustrating, and if anyone has any suggestions on how to get Pixel Pass tickets, I'm open to it in the comments section. But inevitably, it's going to be the biggest downfall of this game, because new people will download this. They'll probably purchase 1 or 2 Pixel Pass passes, and they won't be able to complete it, and it'll just be incredibly frustrating. That being said, I'm a strong believer that in any video game, the more you play, the more you should be rewarded. So if you are going to grind, you will more than likely be able to complete the pixel passes. But the average player won't be able to do this anymore. And I imagine as time goes by and we continue to do this series, they will continue to make changes that I explained to you. It's really scummy. Their transparency is terrible. Their transparency with creators like me and some of the other top creators is terrible. We don't know what's going on. We don't know why they make these changes. They nerfed the lucky board, didn't tell us why. They went ahead and removed the glitched machine gun, didn't tell us why. Same with the reflector. I think they went ahead and put it inside of a van or a lottery and made it really difficult to obtain. It's things like that that really divide community and developers. The community and developers need to be on the same page, because when the developers are up here and the community is down here, we feel like we get treated like trash. And generally, that is what is happening right now. The transparency is terrible. It will ruin this game. And I'm telling you this as someone who has been a video game creator for 14 years this year. A very, very long time. I've seen games do this, and they just disappear. This will eventually happen to Pixel Gun 3D. It might not be this year, might not be next year, but it will eventually happen. With that being said, obviously I've said avoid this. Go ahead and still grind it as a free-to-play player. I just can't justify this weapon or this weapon, or in fact, this weapon worthy. I would rather save my tickets for a pass that we know is going to be good. If you purchase this, not a problem, but I just think this is a filler season. There's not much going on. Now, what I will say, if you are a free-to-play player and you haven't bothered with the Pixel Pass, still get on and still play, because it's all about the treasurer or the treasures of the universe. Your focus now is this. Treat this like a Pixel Pass, because there's so many incredible rewards inside of here. One of the best one is going to be the Cloak of Night. This means when you die and respawn, you're invisible. This thing is well better than what's available inside of the Pixel Pass. And I don't think the developers have realized that people are going to take very, very big advantage of this. So I'm treating this like a Pixel Pass, and this is definitely going to be the main focus. 15 days to complete it. One thing I am going to say here is I don't have great armor. So I need to get the armor from this. So still hop on and still play. Right now I'm level 39. I'm not going to be upgrading anything until I reach level 40. But I'll have a quick look at my challenges. One of them is going to be spend 120 coins. I always prioritize my modules. So this one needs to be spent. At this point, I'm going to go to clans and try and open some chests. The modules chests are going to be my best friends. I think the silver isn't too hard to obtain. So this is definitely going to be the next best solution for me. I'm going to open a couple of these. According to you guys, it changes every week. So I can do this. I think the next one is 150, so it might be a little bit too expensive. But hopefully we get enough so I can spend my coins. I really need to focus on modules. This has definitely been the biggest downfall for me on this account. Another option I have is to use the black market, but this can become quite pricey. It's not something I highly recommend doing, but if you do have spares, then obviously go for it. So I can now upgrade this a couple of times, and this is just going to be a gradual thing for me. As you can see here, my heavy section is something I definitely need to focus on. So I'm making sure I get as many of the heavy modules as I can. If you are a new player, modules are incredibly important. I've touched quite lucky here with the challenges. Drive 1,000 meters by transport and drive 1,900 meters. You can do this in Battle Royale, but I find the racing game the best option. I will do my best to complete as many challenges as possible here, because for the lower levels, the rewards are actually not that bad. And I will say a little bit of credit for the developers is that free free-to-play players can take the time to just go ahead and complete these challenges. That one's worth 2,000. So I'm not sure if it was just the lower levels, the higher levels they increased, like from 600 to 700. But also definitely feels like some of the earlier stages as well. So win 2 matches with no armor. Great way to do that is going to be the block crash minigames. Defeating 30 enemies in total. These are standard challenges that everyone can get complete. And then we've got spend 120 coins in total. So let's see what our rewards are here. So we've got, see, it's trying to get you constantly to waste your credits here. It kind of prompts you to spend them. We've got some chests here right now. In fact, this is going to be quite useful here because I saved quite a few of my keys for this lottery here. I pretty much completed everything that was available inside of the novice chests other than the main weapons that you can get, which weren't actually that great, I'll be honest with you. So let's just go with the novice, and then we are currently sitting on 3 gems. Okay, boosters, we'll take them. A little bit of cosmetics, and of course pixel pass tickets. These are going to be like my main focus gems. There you go. And then we got a 50. There's a few things inside of here I would like to get. That's 100 parts, so that's not a bad start there. What else have we got here? Coins. We've got this. And then we've got another 10, which is the novice chest. Parts. You always end up with a few parts of these. The whole game is literally parts. So what else have we got going on here? And a pets chest. And that's it. Before we go ahead and start playing this, obviously I have collected a whole bunch of parts. It just seemed easier for me to do. What I am going to do is go straight down to the lottery. I've saved enough to do 50 spins here. So we're going to do the 50 chests and see what we end up getting. Mr. Squiddo, not really what I wanted. And we can do 2 more here. These are just keys I saved up by watching adverts. But the RNG chances here are terrible. You can literally see how bad it is. So obviously, as a free-to-play player, my main focus this season is just to get as many rewards as I possibly can. All the ones I can get for free. Especially things like modules. We have a lot there. I'll take that. Especially the module combinations. They're perfect. We've got this. And I've got this. And obviously, at this point, I always say, spend them on here. I don't typically go for weapons anymore. I think having control over gems is probably the best solution here. But of course, they do nerf it and make it harder. But I'm at nearly 3,600 gems. That's not bad as a free-to-play player. Pretty much a catch-up episode. So let's go back and craft all of the previous things that I managed to unlock. Some of these are going to be great for the gallery. Others not so much. I'll be honest. I hate the fact that this changes your weapon selection, though. Completely modifies your whole entire loadout. Not what I want to do. Future, then we ended up with Stake Gun. That's probably one of the best weapons to get as a starter player. So if we now go to craft, let's go to gallery. Here we go. It's nowhere near enough. However, we can grab even more gems here. I think just saving until you get the weapons that you desire is probably a good choice. If we go down here, we did manage to complete this. So I'm kind of close to a legendary weapon if I needed to. All right, let's collect the rewards I previously didn't get. So again, chests. This is my pixel pass this season. This is what we are going for, coins. We'll take any kind of currency at this point. I think there's a couple more chests here. We have some Shiv modules. Okay, so my main focus here is to get this cape. It'd be super important on this account. I do think the way they've done this, though, is quite boring. It doesn't really feel competitive or anything. You just go ahead and collect it, and then it gets boring. Then you just got to wait for the game to finish. So at this point, it's probably a good idea to try and complete some challenges. Obviously, that is going to be for a really OP weapon, which I'm hoping to get because it will be useful. So these are my final parts that I need to claim here. One thing I do need to do, though, is I actually need to get myself a ton of deathmatch score. So for challenges like this, it's not too much of a problem for me to play something like this. Also, bots are so cracked out on this, dude. So now that all of these are done, let's go and play a bunch of games and get this cape complete.
1 hour later.
I find in order to get these, the best place to play is probably a team fight. Deathmatch works, but you just don't get as many of the currencies that you need. Plus, my loadout now has been doing absolute work. I popped a 1 hour token just because I think if we can get the boosters going and rank up to level 40 as soon as possible, I'll then be able to upgrade my weapons and stuff. Everyone is using the party sniper rifle. This combo works incredibly well for sure. Now, everyone's invisible because they have that cloak. That's what I was saying to you guys. It's so useful to have. I use it all the time on my main account. I like to be invisible when you spawn. It's like having an extra gadget for sure. These guys can't see. Dude, this mirror one is so good. So good. Everyone keeps coming here, so I'm going to nuke it. Might get lucky with a kill there. There you go. One's dead. Another one's dead. I just been 2-cat spamming non-stop with this this combo. Works perfectly. People hate it because they cannot see a darn thing with it. Plus, it's a really good way to track the people who have gone invisible. Bro's just chilling in our spawn there. Get out. Get them out. Get them out. They can't see. I don't know if they fixed the issue on PC where PC players can't see very well because of the blindness effect, maybe? Never used to be able to anyway. Listen, bro. Get down. He's already dead. I'm going with this. Oh, darn it. We should comfortably get a win. It's all about winning. Coming in first position makes no difference, so you literally just got to focus on getting wins. Hello. Blood delay there ruined me. Should be able to squish him if we're lucky. Don't know where bro went. Oh, come on, man. A little bit of a death streak here. Still didn't die by that, huh? He didn't die by that. Wow. I got a lot of assists. There, we got him, though. Just making sure people can't see works. Let's fly. There we go. It's a good sight not seeing not everyone using the this backup all the time, though. A nice sight to see. Because that was dominating every lobby. So people are trying to find other metas for a change. Yeah, they've all left. They've all left. Let's go. We might get 100 kills a team. We're going to be just shy here. Maybe 95? Maybe 95? Not quite. I'll take that, though. I got to do this. I think maybe 2 more times. 30 kills, bro. I'm telling you, I really did pop off there. Like I've mentioned, we don't get too many free-to-play events, so when they do happen, make sure you take full advantage of them. The Cloak of Knights is a perfect free gift to get. My main focus right now is to get myself 1,200 Pixel Pass tickets. That means I can purchase 2 Pixel Passes comfortably, but I'm just going to leave this season and hope that the next ones are better. As the year goes on, the Pixel Passes usually do get better. But yeah, the developers are nerfing every solution I have for you. It's going to get to a point where it's impossible to start Pixel Gun 3D as a new player.